Alright, guys, it's time for a little bit of chess talk. Okay, so one thing that I really want to talk about, obviously, is related to the board, but I'm making this about life, more so about life, but just follow me here. Basically, what I want to say is because we're all looking for the best moves to make, or some of us are just looking for the next moves to make. And one thing that I want to say is not making a move is sometimes a great move because and on the micro it may look like you're idle, you may be, but there's a fine line between being idle and waiting for a better move. So something that I always learned in chess, when you dealing with a timer and all these things, you want to just put out a good move as fast as possible, a move that's not going to kill you. Is that when you find a good move, take some time to find an even better move. So the reason why I brought up this conversation is because I didn't necessarily know what to do with all of the protests and the riots and all those things. And I had personally come to the conclusion that maybe it's just not time for me to jump. So what do I do in the interim? Because I'm not just going to just sit back and act like what's going on in the world isn't going on. Well, it's pretty simple for me. I'm not really sure how everybody else will respond to this, but it's it's right now for me. What it appears is that I need to play a game of observing and taking in information. All right, just because you see everybody else moving doesn't mean you need to be moved, even if you feel the pressure. And I do feel the pressure because I speak out against injustices against black people, but I often think about what I could do. All right, so this is not me saying, oh, because people choose to protest or they fall into groupthink that's inherently a problem. It's not a problem. I won't say it's a problem at all. But I need to personally think, and I won't put this on anybody else, but I need to personally think, what's my end game? What do I even want out of this? Now, naturally, people would say, well, this is what we want. We want these rights. We want this. The fact of the matter is, protesting alone by way of marching and things like that is not going to make the adversary say, oh, damn, it's a lot of them. They really got us. So what I'm about to say is a matter of something that we have to reverse engineer to get to that point, but we have to put pressure on the people we want to get the change from in different ways. We got to make them feel it in different ways. So some people may say we protest with our pockets, or some may say, even I had kind of mentioned protest by way of kind of dancing with the devil. See, actually, I want to talk about that. Actually, this is it seems counterintuitive. Naturally, if you got an enemy, you want to say, "You're my enemy. You stay over there." You know what I'm saying? You keep your distance. Get from around me. But what I have found, and that I learned from 48 Laws of Power and The Art of War, and just history in general, is that you may have to play a dirty game where you actually have to keep your enemies close. That way you can track their moves. It's happening right now. It's happening on a bigger stage. Now, it's not put right there in front of you, but I see what's going on. I clearly see what's going on. Just like people have been deceiving you for so long, there are people right now deceiving the people who have been deceiving you. And those people are deceiving you into thinking that they are against you. It's because you don't have as much power as the people that they are trying to deceive to take out. All right? And, I always bring everything back to chess. But a lot of what's going on in this world, and in this world, I was gonna say in America, but yeah, in America, it's chess being played on a 5D level. It's very intricate, very intricate. So naturally, I'm proud of people, and I understand why people want to take action right away. And this isn't even about the protest, really. I'm just saying I'm glad that people want to take action right away. It's proactive. It's taking initiative. But as far as chess goes, what's the next move? You know what I'm saying? What do we do if this fails? Just thinking moves ahead. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about things that may or may not happen. It's tough. It really is tough. It's tough to watch things go on, and you sit back for a beat and wonder if that's the move for you, if that's the move that's going to advance the narrative, or if it's worth dying for. Now, when it comes to fighting for your rights, of course, it's worth dying for. But is this particular method, whatever that method may be, is it worth dying for? So when it comes to something like Malcolm X, like he kind of spoke out against those protests. He thought it be wasteful. He thought that, a lot of these black people were just kind of like sitting ducks and things like that. Now, he got assassinated, but he took a different path. He cemented in history and actually left a lot of trails. You know what I'm saying? A lot of positive moves that he made, and you can also learn from the things that he didn't do so well. All right, but that's retrospect. That's hindsight. It's 2020. Extremely brave man. Very, very thoughtful. Very disciplined. And in a world like today, that is what's needed. All right, and when you make these moves, obviously anger is a natural thing, but you can't keep anger with you. You let anger push you to that point of clarity where you start plotting and mapping out your next moves and things like that. You want to have a clear mind when you do this. You don't want to rush into your death. All right? If you're going to die, you want to make sure that everything was calculated. You stayed even, you stayed cool for as long as you can, because the emotions dumb you down when logic needs to be at the forefront. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, emotions can motivate you, push you, and things like that, but it can also burn you out. So you just want to make sure that when you got this fire, you got to know what you're trying to fuel. All right, and also just to kind of wrap this up, maybe on subject, off subject. Pay close attention to your surroundings. Always keep your head in the information. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I was talking about this yesterday. There are coaches on the field and there's coaches up in the box. So at the same time, you can't be in the field but also looking from a bird's eye view or so. So in your battle studies, in time that you take away from the war, when you have a recess, or when you go to relax at night to go to sleep or something like that, then that's the time to study, to take in the information, see what you may have missed, see what you can do better. And that's Chess Talk. Thanks.